Nobody can believe it, Michelle, and it's because of really when it happened in the game. If the call like that had happened in the middle of the game, people would be like, okay, he got robbed. But seeing as it was the final out of the final inning, that's really what gets to people. I heard from people on Facebook from out of state today, people who aren't even Tiger fans, really aren't baseball fans. They are still talking about this one, and you don't really need to see the video again because we've shown it a lot of times, but frankly, every time you see it, you get more and more appalled at how out the guy was, and yet he was called safe. They are talking about it here at Fifth Third Ballpark. They're talking about it in the stands, and of course they're talking about it on the field because the Whitecaps are a Detroit Tigers affiliate, so they feel a little more connected to Armando Galarraga than other teams in the minor leagues would. But what we're hearing a lot of is people are feeling for the umpire. They're feeling for Jim Joyce and saying that he handled it as well as he could, so that takes some of the heat off of him. Take a listen.
Open up the gates.
Anything close, he has to be out. You know what I mean? I mean, when you have a perfect game, it's different if it's in the fifth or sixth inning. But in the ninth inning like that with 2 outs, even if the guy did beat it, you got to call him out there because the other team's not going to complain about that.
I'm sure people will be a little more forgiving, whereas if he didn't apologize and he stuck to his guns and didn't fess up. But I mean, I think he went about it the right way and admitted to his mistake.
He probably feels worse than anybody because, you know, it's on his shoulders, but, you know, you feel bad for the guy, but, you know, you feel bad for Galarraga too, just because, you know, he had it, but it didn't happen.
I watched it and I was in shock like everyone else. But you know what? It's baseball, and everybody that's saying, you know, let's go to instant replay and get it right, or Bud Selig ought to today, you know, say nope, it's a perfect game. That's just not going to work for baseball.
There really are two schools of thought on this one. The Scott Lane, the purists, which most of the guys we talk to here feel the same way. It happened, they feel terrible about it, but you don't go and change it. And then there's the other school of thought that says go ahead and change it, but we know Bud Selig is not going to do that. The ruling stands. I'm sure an artifact or a ball or something from Armando Galarraga will end up in the Hall of Fame. It just will not be as a perfect game. Michelle?
Yeah, it doesn't have to maybe go down in the history books, but everybody knows he had a perfect game. And one other thing that we haven't mentioned yet is that he got a car today. That's going to take maybe a little of the sting away.
He did, you know, and if he got the perfect game, he would have that in the record books. Now he's got something tangible in his garage, but he plays in the big leagues. He probably already had a pretty nice car. That's just a hunch on my part.
Yeah, I am glad to see that people do feel bad for the umpire because, you know, you see him getting so emotional, you feel so bad for him.
Well, you do, and there's a whole lot of major corporations in our country and in our world, big-time celebrities who have messed up, who probably would look a lot better in the public eye if they had just fessed up immediately like he did. The heat was off of him pretty quickly when he had the tears in his eyes last night, the tears in his eyes today, and he said, look, I messed up, it's my fault. But too many people are kind of hiding and acting like they did nothing wrong, and that's why America keeps going after him. Well, they're not going to go after Joyce anymore.
Absolutely. All right.